Listen, if you don't know anything about Christy, know this. She loves herself some Jesus. Yesterday, I was doing my makeup and the presence of the Lord just fell and I just began to weep. I'm like, I literally just painted my face. Oh, he met me in the car while I was driving to Walmart. Then I met a woman named Carol, and Carol and I began to talk about his goodness. And I tell you, oh, he's my everything. But today I want to talk about the power of a seed. I heard years ago, sow where you want to grow. Sow where you want to grow. Many individuals focus on sowing money, and I believe in sowing money, but I want to talk to you about sowing yourself today. When you become a seed and you plant yourself in prayer, when you plant yourself in God's word, oh my gosh, you will change. You will transform from the inside out. Ask me how I know. When I was at my lowest, in the midst of struggle, if you want to break the back of struggle, you got to learn how to sow yourself. Christy, what does it mean to sow? The definition of sow, it means to implant. It means to extend. Some of you just don't extend yourself. It means to introduce. You step yourself in a large room, and many of you are like a wallflower. Nobody knows who you are and that you were ever there. You got to learn how to introduce yourself. So means to broadcast. I often say broadcast your brilliance. See, when I was in high school and they placed me in lower level classes because I did not do well on the standardized test, I learned how to advocate for myself in that moment. I went to my guidance counselor and I said, can I please be placed in unlevel classes? My senior year, I had to take algebra 2 and geometry simultaneously. I was not the smartest cookie in the jar, but I know how to fight for me. And I was able to meet the requirements of Florida State University. I was a fighter before I knew that I was a fighter, because I was learning how to sow myself, broadcasting on behalf of Christy. Let me tell you about the power of a seed in struggle. Sowing yourself. When you sow yourself, nothing can stop you. And I remember when I had next to nothing. One of my friend girls calls me up and says, Christy, I have an opportunity for you to do makeup artistry for a celebrity makeup artist in Naples, Florida. I'm telling you, I had bills due. And I said yes to the opportunity. Was allowed to stay in the Ritz-Carlton. I still remember the Belgian chocolate that the maid brought to my room to this day. And it's been over decades. But what am I saying? When I had nothing, I was sowing in prayer. And the opportunity just fell. And it's still to this day, they just fall, they fall, because I sow myself every single day. I extend myself. And when you sow, God gives seed to the sower. He gives it back. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Some of you are just too stingy. You're too stingy with your brilliance. You're too stingy with your kindness. You're just too stingy. And you would think that the church would have been the most generous as it relates to me being an entrepreneur. It didn't come from inside the four walls, because I made myself a seed. It comes from the north, the south, the east, and the west. So I want you to enlarge your scope today. Enlarge your perspective. Sow where you want to grow. Sow where you want to grow. Live a life without walls. A life without walls. I'm so grateful for those that rejected the gift. I am so grateful for every single one of you, because it would have never caused me to break out. Don't you numb out. You got to break out. Don't you numb out. Do you know God has so much in store for you that eyes haven't seen it, ears haven't heard it, and it's not into the heart of man what he's prepared for those that love him? My last point. This right here. I chose this detergent one day because it was large and it said ultra deluxe. ultra deluxe. But do you know how much you have to pour in the water just to get some suds to come up? But good old Ajax or a Palmolive, whatever the other ones are that you all like. All you need is a little bit, and I mean bubbles for days, bubbles for days. So, bigger does not mean better. Bigger does not mean better. I want you to choose potency over popularity. Baby, I can deliver a 7-star meal in 5 minutes or less appeal. Longer does not mean depth. Some of you need to alter your appetite. You're eating from everybody's table. And no wonder you're cray-cray. Listen, so where you want to grow, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Broadcast your brilliance. Stand up for you. Fight for your rights. Fight for what you desire. Whether they or not. Whether they or not. Cheer yourself on. Create the life you desire. Create the life you deserve. Sow your way out. Sow yourself out. Sow yourself out. And you will be unstoppable. What's up? Where you going next?